Diane Denmark here. Welcome back to another one of the Flylady's cruising through Christmas and the holidays missions. Today we're now on to number 28, and before we get started, don't panic if you're just joining us for the holiday preparation. I'll put a link to a playlist that I've got up there, and it's got all about the Flylady's holiday control journal. If you haven't already downloaded that, go and print it off. And there are also recipes and edible gifts you can make for Christmas. But anyway, as I said before, don't worry about it. And the missions that the Flylady has, they all kind of follow the same pattern. Today is slightly different, and I'm really excited about this one. But anyway, I'll get to that. So, for today's mission, a lot of you are preparing for Thanksgiving, which means, you've got maybe guests coming in, or, you're cooking a meal. And even if you're not having Thanksgiving, join in with the mission today because it involves the good old shiny sink, remember that? And this is why it's kind of funny when I read the mission, because I had planned my outfit, and if you're following me on Instagram, you see my outfit for the day, and my jewellery, and what boots I'm wearing, so you can see what the weather is like in Denmark. You don't need to go and look at the weather forecast, you can just see what my outfit is. Anyway, I chose this outfit, and I realised this sweatshirt that I'm wearing, this was the one that I wore if you ever saw my 31 baby step, the Flylady's 31 baby steps, where I walk you through each day and tell you about that. This is the sweatshirt that I was wearing for that video on the 1st of January this year. And it's funny for me to think that, I used to make videos, I was a Flylady premium mentor, and I was making, little videos for the ladies I was mentoring, and for the main group. And I had this little YouTube channel, and I had like 30 subscribers, and then suddenly, from January 1st, they were on the Flylady page and the Flylady website, and now here I am today with over 9,000 subscribers. So anyway, thanks for staying with me. And so anyway, I've got my sweatshirt on today, and here we are with the sink. So I'll tell you what the mission is today. It is a Thanksgiving for a lot of you, which means, as I said, you're maybe cooking or you've got guests coming. And today's mission is just to do a quick wipe down of the kitchen, and it's not going to take a lot of time. And I thought, what I'm like, I don't just want to tell you what to do, I want to inspire you to just do something, and I'm going to do mine right now. So if you want to join in, do that. Otherwise you can watch me with if you're watching this first thing when your morning cup of coffee. I've got the dregs of today's coffee. It's really dark here this morning. I'll just show you, just for fun, how dark it is here without the lights on. And it's getting brighter now. Half an hour ago it was pitch black when my daughter was cycling to school. Luckily, the kids have got really good lights on their bikes, but it's pouring down with rain. Anyway, I'll put the lights back on and then we'll get started. Let me just sip my coffee. Right, there we are. So now we can see me. Okay, now if you want to put on your, I'll put my penny, because there might be a wee bit of water involved. Right, now normally, when the first time that you shine your sink, the Flylady Babysteps is, just remove everything from the sink. Now, I've got a few things that didn't fit into the dishwasher this morning. I've run the dishwasher, and I'm going to empty mine along with you. So if you've been procrastinating on emptying your dishwasher, you know what to do. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, and then I'm just taking out all the kind of grotty bits from this sink, and then doing my little barista moment, when I empty this. Right, and you don't need to go filling up with hot water, and I don't use bleach if I ever need to clean it. Just a wee bit of cleaning product is fine. Anyway, I'm just going to take So I'm going to give it a wee bit of TLC today. Take one of my steel wool pads, and I keep them here. I cut them up into half because you know I'm a canny Scot. I hate to spend too much money. Right, I'm just going to put on, normally I don't really bother with the rubber gloves, but when I'm using the steel wool I do, and I'll just, let's see if we can get a wee bit closer. There we are. And all I'm doing is just giving it a quick rub down. And I have a square or rectangular sink, so I'm just getting to the corners, around the bit where you've got the drain in the middle. And I've said to you before, we drink a lot of tea. We have a cup of tea every night after we've been watching the telly. In my husband's mum and dad's generation, they always had coffee at 9 o'clock at night. I just think, drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night, I mean, that'd keep me awake all night. Anyway, we would always have a cup of tea and a biscuit. A biscuit as in a cookie, not a biscuit scone like you have in the States. Right, so that's basically that. I'll just do the other side as well, because I've got this middle section. Leave it around the top. Boom, Bob's your uncle. Right. And I'm just going to wipe that down. There we are, that will do. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to wipe down because that way, if you are going to be cooking, it's so much easier. You know, if you need to prep your vegetables or, you know, fill up a pot of water that you can actually get into your sink, you know, that it's not kind of overflowing with stuff. Now, if you don't have anywhere to put the dirty dishes, you can put them in a washing up bowl. Just put them to the side. I'm going to put them in the dishwasher, which I have to empty first. And normally this is the end of my morning routine. That's the last thing I do is I unload the dishwasher. And if I move you back, maybe you can see it. What I do, because you know me, I like to jump over the fence where it is lowest. I take the dishes straight from the dishwasher. These are like last night's plates. And we've just had our breakfast. So these are last night's plates. And then from the dishwasher, there we are, missing a fork like that. 4 forks and 4 knives. Then I just set the table for tonight because otherwise I would be putting these things back, you know, back in the drawers, in the cutlery drawer. It doesn't make sense to me to put them away and then have to bring them out again. So I'm being very lazy and I'm just setting the table from the stuff that we had. Right, okay, I am unloading dishwasher. Let me see. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it. Anyway, we shall see. Okay, and that's a casserole dish. Right, and a pot. And if you ever, you know, are procrastinating unloading the dishwasher, you know what to do, don't you? You take a timer, like the Flylady timer, and you use it as a stopwatch. Hold on, I'll put you back up again. Because often we think, oh, it's going to take a really long time to unload the dishwasher. But in reality, it takes like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Right, these go beside the stove. Oh, and I've got my mug. And you know what? I'm just going to set up my coffee. Let's see that. Bazinga. I'll set up my coffee right now. So I hope I'm not going to be keeping you back with this video today. But as I said, I like to work along with you and show you that, you know, it's not difficult, and you know, And I say this all the time, you know, I never really feel like doing my routines and doing a bit of cleaning or decluttering, but I just get on and do it because I set my timer and say to myself, you know what, I've got 10 minutes, I'll spend 10 minutes doing it, and when the timer goes off, I get to stop. And you know what happens once I actually start, it's not so bad, and then I feel much better when I'm done. Right, the last thing that's coming out of the dishwasher, the kids had some pasta with them for lunch the other day, and I don't know if you've got these, but they're really good, the little thermos flasks, which have got a built-in foldable spoon. I love little gadgety things like this. And these are great for, you know, if they're going with some of my mum's recipe minestrone soup or pasta. I suppose you could even say ice cream during the summer. Right, oh, I'm missing a spoon for that one. Oh, let me task. Okay, there's one spoon missing. Right, okay, so that can go away. And I'm going to set up my coffee. Oh, but first of all, I'm going to put away these, the dirty dishes that are on the counter. I'll bring you along this way. See, we're at 11 minutes. And as usual, I've been talking for a couple of minutes, but we're not going to go over 15. And I know some of you enjoy the longer videos, but really I keep my videos to 15 minutes because the last thing I want to do is to keep you sitting watching YouTube for like half an hour. I just want you to work along with me or get inspired and do a bit of work yourself, you know, instead, because as much as I love you watching my videos, unless you actually get up off your, you know, your big bahookie and do something, nothing's going to change. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's that done. And I tell you what, I'll just wipe down behind me so you can see I've got the hob here. I'm just going to see I've got a cloth here. My wee squishy. There we are. And you may also want to check and see if there is anything in your oven that shouldn't be there, because a friend of mine, she turned on the oven the other day because you know, guests were coming and she was making some food and she had forgotten that she had kind of used it as a bread bin and had put some bread in, and then of course she just kind of turned on it, and then when she went to put in the food, she found the kind of melted plastic loaf of bread. So anyway, before you put anything in your oven, you know, before you switch it on, check that there's nothing left in there from before, like turkey from last year or... Right, okay, I'm just giving it a wee wipe down. There we go. Right, what's the time? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 13 minutes. Okay, and I've wiped down kitchen, worktop. There we are. Actually, it smells really nice with this. I use a biodegradable spray cleaner. And this one smells of orange and, is it thyme? Orange and rosemary. Anyway, last thing I'm going to do, which is not part of the Flylady mission, but it's just something I do. You'll also have seen me mentioning it on Instagram. As part of my routines, I set up coffee, you know, for the afternoon or for the next day. So I'm just going to do that. And wish you all a great Thanksgiving if you don't have time to check in tomorrow. We don't have Thanksgiving here, but as many of you know, my son, my DS17, my dear son 17, he was, I'll bring you a bit closer. He was in the States for a year, last year. Gosh, it was tough for Mum. And he was up in, he was in Washington State, in Sumner at Bonnie Lake. I didn't mention before where he was because I know you're kind of everywhere, and I didn't want people kind of tracking him down. But anyway, he said that, I mean, there were tons of high points of his year doing American high school. But one of the most fantastic things he said was Thanksgiving and the food. He just thought that was just such a great day, and he had a lovely, lovely host family. So, right, that is coffee set up. 2 mugs, one for me, one for dear hubby. So I'm going to stop it there because we're at 50 minutes. Woo! Anyway, have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you could work along with me for a bit. This was the Flyladies cruising through the holidays and Christmas missions number 28. And even if you're not, you know, as I said, celebrating Thanksgiving, it's always good to give your sink a wee bit of TLC, tender loving care, and it just makes it feel nice for you. That's all we're doing here. We just want your home to feel nice for you. That's why we're putting in just a few minutes of effort every day. Right, that's it for me. Time to get on with my day. Oh, there we are. My beads don't need to hang straight today, but there we are. And I thought it was so funny about this sweatshirt. There you go. Anyway, Diane in Denmark, have a lovely day, live long and prosper, and see you very soon.